Welcome back to Disabilities, and this is Disabilities, and today's video for Disabilities and RPG is going to cover depression. And this has been on my mind a lot lately, because of multiple reasons. One of which is I suffer chronic depression. And mine gets to the point that all I can do is lay in bed, and I can't get up to watch TV. I have to drag myself up just to use the restroom. And it gets me spiraling down a dark path. That often leads to me feeling like nobody cares or understands or even wants to. And ends up with thoughts of the world's better off without me, etc. And with me trying to kill myself, or thinking about it. Usually it's just thinking. And although I have had suicide attempts in the past, that's due to depression. And so this has been on my mind a lot because I suffer from it. A friend of mine's going through it. And it's something we all deal with. The reason I count it as a disability is because this level of depression is totally life-changing. And it's not something you get rid of. Yes, they have drugs that help balance your mood out. It can help you manage it, but if you suffer from this kind of depression, it's something you're gonna have to deal with the rest of your life. Which is a shame because it is a terrible thing to have to deal with. What are some reasons for this kind of depression? For me, it tends to be related to my other disabilities and with how my mind focuses on one thing. And whether it's good or bad, that I just dwell on it over and over. And then in the case of depression, that can be a bad thing because it just hammers that in. And it's kind of the old proverb, if you hear something often enough, you'll start to believe it. That definitely seems to hold true, especially if it's something you're telling yourself. There's many factors that come into this kind of depression. Could be financial worry, relationship trouble, or issues at work or school, or so many different things can affect why this happens, or what, or how it's triggered. And each person's also different. Something that may bother one person doesn't bother another. So, how does this affect us as players and DMs? Well, for me, if I get to that state as a DM, I don't want to run a game. I might cancel sessions I have planned. And that, or I don't do the proper prep work to have a good session, and it just is kind of an okay session. And same thing goes with players, only coming from a player perspective, that if they show up that they are social, that they're just kind of there, having trouble paying attention to what's going on, not really playing the character that they have, just kind of, oh, I'm here, let's do this. So that's some of the ways it can affect us, and being around someone who's depressed also tends to have an effect on the atmosphere and the mood of the other players, or people involved in the group. If someone's really upset and down in the dumps, it's gonna lower the atmosphere of fun that everyone else is having. Although they might still have fun, it just won't be as good as if everyone was having fun. So what kind of things can we do as DMs and players to help solve this for our sessions? Well, the big one is, for me as a DM, is I give half an hour or so before I start a session for everyone to just hang out and talk about their week or day or month, however long it's been since we've gotten together. And usually I'll be a little on the quiet side during this time. And I just kind of listen and watch my players and how they interact. And usually, having suffered from it myself, I'm pretty good about picking out if someone's upset or sad. And if there's that case, I usually pull them off to the side, saying something, and like, well, before we get started, I need to have a quick smoke. Hey, Bill, you wanna come outside and keep me company while I smoke? Okay, and usually they say okay. And then maybe off to the side, I ask if he's okay, and if there's anything he wants to talk about, that it seemed to me like he was feeling a bit sad or upset. And most of the time they'll talk to me. Sometimes they just say, I don't want to talk about it, and all you can do is say, okay, well, if you need someone to talk to, I'm here. So that's one way. Now, as a DM, if I'm depressed, well, I use a couple things. I talk to my friends who are my players. It's because for a lot of times, when I'm getting to that level of depression, I don't want to socialize. I have to force myself to. And the reason I force myself is because I know that's what I need to do. Because being around people who care and are supportive and understand what I'm going through helps me to feel better. And once I start feeling better, it's easier for me to pick myself up out of that depression. And so, that's one thing I do. Another thing I do is I watch online gameplays like the Provokers, the Rids of Sorcery, because as one, I love the guys from Absolute Tabletop. I've had the pleasure of knowing them for a while now and consider them all good friends of mine. And part of that is because before I ever met them, I was watching them. And some of the online campaigns they did, I loved how they played and how they interacted. And that chemistry that group has, when I watched it, made me feel part of the group. So when I get down and depressed, I turn to that because it makes me feel included. Even if I'm not talking to them live, even if it's a video, it feels like I'm sitting there at the table with them. I'm having fun. And that's a big thing for me. When I start having fun like that, I realize a lot of what the thoughts that were running through my head leading to the depression just ain't true. And that helps break it. So that's how I handle it. And hopefully this has been of some use to you. And as always, may the dice roll in your favor.